Thanks, Ranjit. Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for taking the time to spend with me and understand what the digital employee engagement platform is all about and how it could help organizations become high-performing ones and also be able to take on the benefits that are implied and seen by many organizations when they have a connected workforce. So with that, I just wanted to let you all know that today's webinar is going to be in two parts. The first one is about a set of PowerPoint slides which will give you the genesis of the why and the what, and then the latter half of this would be a real demo of the system that we've built, and I will take you through those features. For any Q&A, we will reserve the last 15 minutes of this call for you all to put in your questions, and I can answer them, or if you feel more comfortable, you can just send me an email. My email is listed right here on the first slide. It is very simple, vikram@cignex.com. So feel free to drop me any questions and I will answer them to the best of my abilities. So very quickly, getting into the details, I am heading up all open source solutions, innovation, and platform builds that we do for our company. And one such platform that we are building is around employee engagement. And these following set of slides will tell you why we thought that it is a good idea to build an employee engagement platform, especially in a hosted software as a service model where it can be consumed very easily. What we've seen is, based on a lot of surveys and groups that have invested time into conducting employee engagement maps, employee engagement surveys, employee engagement sessions, 70% of, or more than 70% have been shown to be as disengaged employees. So that is one part. The second part is, from an attrition perspective, more than 20% of the employees that are projected to leave within the 3 years or who have already left cited some sort of disengagement as one of the key reasons for leaving. They did not feel connected within the organization, could not gel. So different adjectives were used and different connotations were there. But basically it boiled down to not being able to establish a connect with their peers and with their coworkers. So these are some two facts that we took away. We also saw that, from the workplace complexity, you've got to realize that in today's working environment, the employee workforce is now very widespread in terms of age and demographics. So on one hand, we have the baby boomers and the traditionalists and all that, and the other we have the millennials and the very new entrants into the workforce. And there's a big gap between how these two sets of people actually work and what they expect. So moving from a 9 to 5 office-based culture to work anytime, anywhere, any device is very key, and therefore there is a huge amount of change that is there. We have a dispersed workforce. There's a lot of information that we need to share and or can easily be shared based on the technology that we've got available to us. There's a whole compliance angle that we've got to figure out, as well as the complexity created by the speed at which business processes are changing or business outcomes are changing, along with the technical complexity of multiple devices on multiple bits of technology. So if you take all this, we are just getting into a more and more complex environment where the needs are very different and diverse. And what also we've seen is, to compound the problem, there is another gap or set of gaps that exist between employees and between the corporates that they work for. So typically, we've seen these 5 major gaps across nearly all the companies that we surveyed and we worked on. So employees in today's world basically want to their need is just show me what I want to see, make me want to get onto the company site and get my information, help me build my own connects that I need, allow me the control, give the power to me. And please don't get into major training sessions of how to use this and refer this manual and go to a FAQ and then figure it out. Keep it very simple. Now you compare that to what corporates are thinking, and they say, hey, there is a lot of information we've got to show you. So it's not just what you want, there is also what we want to share with you. The site is a company site, you work for the company, so you should go there. We've connected the entire organization, we've spent millions of dollars on that. We retain the control, and basically if you want information, you need to know where to look for it. So that has compounded the issue that technology and age and diversity and geo disbursement that has brought all that into a larger frame. But one of the key statistics that we saw was the baby boomers and Gen Xers exhibit the lowest level of engagement, and they are more than 80% of your workforce. The traditionalists and millennials exhibit the highest level of engagement, but they are less than 12% of your workforce. So now if you compare what the people want, what the corporates want to give, the impact of traditionalists versus baby boomers versus millennials and all the different age groups that we have in our current work environments, if you put all of that together, it boils down to lack of contextualization, lack of personalization, lack of socialization, and more importantly, there is lack of empowerment of the end user. So everybody talks about empowered employees and all that, but we don't really see it happening. Because, and I'll show you some cases as we go through the demo, how that impacts our day-to-day lives. The good part is organizations that have exhibited higher levels of employee engagement have seen up to 40% increase in performance, a much higher increase in customer satisfaction, a 4x multiple of financial success, and 14% reduction in employee turnover. And this is, these are hard facts that the Hay Group has collected over multiple organizations. And if you just look at the cost of attrition in today's world, the system will pay for itself if we are just able to get a couple of percentage points down on the attrition level. So that will be great to have for any organization. With that background, we basically said that we are going to build an employee-centric plug-and-play digital experience platform. Employee-centric is key. The other part is we adopted some very fundamental design principles, and they are as follows. We said there will not be any user manual that would be required for end users. It has to be that intuitive. Number two, everything that you do here should give more power to the end user, irrespective of who that end user is. So, and basically get away from the control mechanism that organizations are saying, therefore creating a truly empowered yet responsible set of employees that use the system. And the third part is, make it very fast, make it work fast on any device, anywhere. That's a given in today's world. So we borrowed a bit of, Facebook, a bit of LinkedIn, a bit of WhatsApp kind of features, and we looked at what was common in that, and these were the three commonalities that we found. They run fast, they are intuitive, and they are allowing you as a user to have control. So with that as the background, we went and started to build our digital employee engagement platform. And we structured it into two parts. One is the work part, and the other is the energize part. And the work part is basically on your left side, which is divided into areas of your own team, your ability to get some knowledge in the document store, the ability to contribute, so on and so forth. And that has basically set the tone for our entire digital employee engagement platform, which I'm now going to show to you real time. So this is our digital employee engagement platform. It is being rolled out within our organization. And if you come here as you log in, your login process is either through your corporate ID, and we've connected it to our LDAP, so single sign-on is absolutely delivered. Or you could use your LinkedIn profile if you choose to, LinkedIn login credentials if you choose to. So that level of social byte is also created here. So when you as an employee log in, this is what your homepage is going to look like. So what we did was the left part is the key menu for the functions that you would see. The right part, this drop down, is for pretty much most of the tasks that you would execute on this platform. And everything else is either on the top or embedded in the screens that you see here. So this homepage screen is basically split into two parts. Just this top 1/3 part is what is controlled largely by either the system itself or by the administrator of the system. So the top left has some level of fresh content. Today you're seeing that 40 people have their birthday in November. All you see is date of birth and the name of the person. You don't see any more details as to where they work or which department they belong to. And the logic behind that is this should intrigue you. Say, hey, Amit Shah is somebody that I would like to know more about, or wish him a happy birthday. You click on Amit's profile, it'll take you to all his details. So creating that level of intrigue. A message that can be sent to you by the admin or the corporate, a video, or either it's a motivational video or something about some training video or your CEO's message, automatically it can be popped up here. And since I have the rights for this a little more than what a normal user have, I have the add video uh, task out here. We have already integrated our system with with YouTube and with Vimeo. So with either of those two, we are basically able to pull in videos into the system. So they are not stored here. It is just a link that comes in. Therefore, we're not consuming any more of the storage space. So as simple as that. We've populated a survey mechanism in this, which is about real-time employee polling. So anytime you get into the system, you can do this in the morning, you can do it tomorrow, you can do it every 40 minutes, who cares? This is a survey of about 19 questions, and they have been randomly arranged for you to give either a yes, a no, or a maybe answer. And pretty much all of them are mandatory. You as an organization have the liberty to customize this or change it, but this is derived more on the pattern of Gallup poll, and basically it pulls in information about employees that can be that will exhibit their level of engagement in terms of their personal goals, their ability to be a part of a team, their leadership patterns, and their learning and growth needs. So all of that can be captured here through the system. Typically in organizations, you have a third party come in and do a survey. That survey gets rolled out through the email, then there are 20 reminders to fill it up, and then you spend another 2-3 months to try and decipher the information. By the time, guess what, your engagement levels in your organization could have already changed. So you're operating pretty much on stale data. And in today's day of instant gratification, instant action, we believe that that it's time to cut that cycle out and reduce it to as close to zero as possible. So this is one of the features that we've provided. Also, as you get into the system, other than the top part that we saw, everything else that you see here in this screen is got to do with the employee or you as an end user. So you will recognize this. This is like a Facebook or a LinkedIn update. So what we've created here is this add post feature. If I just click on that, it'll get the editor up, and I just put this, let's say, I can put in anything that I want. I can add or choose not to add tags. I save it. It'll say that it's got created. This is how it is going to look like, and if all works well, I can just go to the board and it should show up there. There you go. So this is as instantaneous as you would do or you would find on your Facebook profile pages, or within even LinkedIn, where you have the ability to create posts, and those are what we call as blogs or whatever small snippets of information you want to share. So the power is with the users. You go ahead and do that. You share it. People can like it. They can comment on it, and so on and so forth. So very simple. You get all those details here. You get the trending searches. You get the most followed people. So we have the ability to follow people and get updates on what they're doing. More importantly, besides these latest activities and latest document uploads that you get alerted to, you also see the tasks that you are assigned. So we have already connected our system to Jira. So those of you who are familiar with Jira, part of the Altasian group stable of products, it's a task assignment, a ticket assignment kind of software. So we've already integrated that. It pulls in and shows you the Jira tasks that have been assigned to you, so you can work on them directly. Or you can create tasks within the system and assign them to yourself. So within the Deep platform, you can do that. You can assign them to yourself or to other users. So these are live tasks that have been assigned here. If I click on any one of them, I get the details of those tasks, and I can go in and either edit those tasks or set up a workflow for it, reassign it to somebody, change the status or whatever it is, and basically make sure that it is all taken care of. And I get to see my own individual tasks, or if I am a team member, I can get to see those details also. Going on to the next part, we have our document management system that we have embedded here. So this document structure is along n level of details or folders that you can create. You can add documents to it. You can store documents in it. You can set out edit notification lists. You can create workflows for approval, so on and so forth. As you see here, the workflow part. You can also see, what versioning is there, any other related documents to it. So if I click on that, it says there is this operational excellence 2, which is also connected to it. This document also has an attachment. That attachment is an image. I can see it online. It's a great picture of New York City, great, whatever, right? So we have built in the capability of a live DMS for you to store your documents, control the access to it, and also have auto expiration of such documents so that the system does not become bulky and it does not contain old information that is no longer valid. So the platform comes inbuilt with a DMS, so you don't have to go outside. However, if you are having a much larger document store, you can quickly connect it out here. So for example, we have connected our internal knowledge management system to Deep, and we just go in here and search, and it pulls in all the details that we have within our organization from a KMS perspective. So setting up single sign-on, setting up these simple details, all very easy, all very simple that we can do. What I also have here is the ability to have some fun in the system in terms of life hacks. So you can come up and post something cool that you saw outside in the outside world. You want to share it with anyone. And if you share it here, you can also have the ability to basically comment on it and get some details, etc. So that way your contribution is much higher in the system. You can exchange information, a different level of engagement that can be created. What is also very important for you all to know is we have embedded a chat facility here. So besides the normal chat of creating your rooms and chatting with people, so on and so forth, we have also enabled audio calling through the WebRTC protocol. So from your device, whether it's a phone or your laptop or your desktop, you can connect through an WebRTC audio call to anybody else that is logged into your system. You can also set up a video call with that person. And of course, they have to accept your video call request, very similar to what you would see in Google, etc. So, but we have already thought of that and got it embedded. The standard emojis, etc., that everyone loves is already in here. The other cool feature that we've added is we know that people love to play online games. So these are all 2-minute games, so nothing that they're sitting and playing chess all day long. But again, some of the features that we have enabled here to create more engagement with the organization. Uh, this entire application that you're seeing here is also run through your phone. So once you download it on your phone through the chat app, you are again connected. You create your own groups. For example, out here, we've created these 3 groups out here. They can either be invite only or they could be open forum. So people can join, can go away, you can monitor them and search on their conversations. So we've added this extra level of embedded communication, and you don't have to go really outside to get calls going and connect with people or figure out their phone numbers. And or if you're traveling overseas, you just have a Wi-Fi connection, don't want to use your phone, you're still connected to your organization. Hall of Fame, this is again on the lines of instant gratification. If I have to appreciate any team member or any particular team, I just go in, fill out whatever I need to do here. The moment I hit submit or save, it'll come back and auto-populate itself into one of these boxes. It sends an email alert to the recipients of the thank you note that you have, or the appreciation note that you have just created, along with a copy to their immediate managers. So that way, everybody is alerted. Hey, there's a good note of appreciation for you. Go check it out. People feel happy, and this is in direct contrast with how most companies operate today. So you would generally have somebody draft a message, then that message goes to HR. HR will, review it. Then they will put an email blast or put it in your monthly update or whatever it is. So by the time, it's lost its value, it's like 20 days later, somebody's getting thanked for something that they would have done it. So in a normal world, you would thank the person, right there and then. So why can't we do it within our systems also? And that's the fundamental design feature that we've put here. What you also get is, you can do your people search, but now what is different about the search is, typically you remember people by their departments or, assignments that they worked on projects, or by certain skills that they had, or, there's somebody who works in the location in Santa Clara. So you can just go and use any of these filters, and I can just say, hey, I know somebody, we have a problem that we're facing right now, but we had a similar problem in the Juniper Networks contract, and we'll say, okay, these are the 5 people that worked in Juniper Networks. Let's connect with Vidhi. When I connect with her, I either can go to her wall and say, wanted to talk to you about Juniper. So she can either get that message, or I can just start a chat, or I can just drop her an email, because we've already integrated it with our in-house email, which is on Outlook. So Outlook integration already exists. The ability to connect with people also exists, and we have multiple ways that you can engage and go ahead. So now, an interesting thing, what you would see here are these circles. So these are visible only to Vidhi, and these are her own contribution levels in terms of blogs or posts or comments that she's made here. How many followers does she have? How many life hacks did she post or videos did she upload? And all of these get into a consolidated score for employee engagement, which are visible to her and her manager. What that does is it brings you to the reporting feature of Engage that we've got here. So since I have little more rights than a normal user, I get to see what are the engagement levels across the various teams that are working in the company. And if I, let's say, just click on one of the teams, it gives me the contribution and the engagement levels of each of the team members. So as a manager, I now know that, oh, the two lowest people who have the lowest engagement levels are Vikram and Fahad. So let me just reach out to them and on making sure that they are, more engaged. They're feeling happy about what they're doing. This way, your efforts as a manager are more focused, more engaged, better employee productivity. So that's how it all works. You can also get reports around, which location, what are their contributions on engagement, how are they doing. You get another report which correlates the number of years a person has spent in the company versus their engagement level. So as you can see here, people with about less than 1 year, 1 year or less than 1 year, have got a higher level of engagement than those who have spent more than 5 years in the company. So as HR or as senior leadership, you can basically now tell the guys that, hey, the people who have spent more than 5 years, 6 years onwards in the organization have a lot of knowledge, time to start sharing that knowledge and getting more engaged, not being so standoffish, and embrace these people that have come in just new into the organization and start getting level setting, engaged with them, start sharing knowledge. You also get the same split by gender and by individual age group. So interestingly, within our organization, we see that people between the ages of 26 and 35 are much more engaged as compared to those beyond 36 and those under 24. So again, the diversity of the group, the age demographics, all get analyzed here within the system instantaneously. These are things that keep getting fed into the system based on the algorithm that we've built at the back end. So you get engagement reports, which are really critical for serious action and not just, talk about doing something and assuming something. So these are some of the features that we've built in. Now, from a standpoint of contextualization, I mean, if any one of you are familiar with Flipboard as an app, so we borrowed some design logic from Flipboard. So when you set up your profile in the system, there are about 20 different options that you could, or choices that you could select about what sort of news is important to you or what sort of information is important to you. So the system basically, I've selected cloud and I've selected Java and oil crisis in general and a couple of other things. So the system goes across the web, pulls in the information and publishes it to you. So tomorrow, if you are no longer interested in oil crisis, you want something else, click on it, the news info will start coming in here. So the logic behind this is to blur the boundaries between your day-to-day life and the outside world, because in reality, we all switch between the two seamlessly. So why are we trying to build a system that keeps those two worlds apart? Let's try and bring in as much as possible within the rules of content that is defined and acceptable by the organization and put it all into one platform. So that's what we've got here. And we also have the video store where I just showed you, if you recall, this is the video that was playing on the home page. We've got a video library. You can pull in anyone from here and upload it into the main page as an information share. And that's how simple the system is. So you can create a post, you can appreciate a person, you can add a video, and you can add a life hack into this. All of this is done within the system, very simple to use. You can manage your tasks, you get alerts when your tasks are coming due. You can figure out the status of your task and assign them to different people, and that way you're always on top of things. And the cherry on top is basically the entire embedded communication piece where you can transfer documents through the chat session, you can make audio video calls to each other, and of course you can be connected on your mobile devices because this is all mobile enabled. So with that, I would bring the demo to a conclusion. and flip back to the PowerPoint here and see if there is anything else that we need to run through. So from the PowerPoint perspective, what you saw, and this is like a summary of what we went through, is we've defined a lot of means to create communication within the organization. We've also looked at figuring out passive ways of understanding what an employee's level of engagement is, as well as creating more formal means of surveys and polls that you can take to figure out what engagement is all about. We've definitely not required the use of a user manual, so we've stuck to that theme, and it is run on Amazon host web services. So you don't have to worry about security, performance. It's auto scaling, auto performing. We've got all that done and set up really well. Anytime, any device, anywhere, as long as you have a Wi-Fi connection, you're good. So these are some of the screen grabs that we've taken from the system, and we went through the demo. So we looked at social networking, we looked at voice, text, video chat, we looked at the analytics, we looked at other features that are there within the system for personalization, notifications, activity feeds, so on and so forth. And we've all got a global search feature in it, so anything that's in the system you can search on it by free text. Very simple, very intuitive. We've integrated it with Outlook, Gmail, Jira, and that's where we are today. From a pricing perspective, three variants: the Lite, the Professional, and the Enterprise. So pretty much you have all the features here that you saw, and we are ready to take questions now.